¿Cómo estás? Yay! Hey, family, what's going on? Mm, mm. You know, I don't think people really understand what's important to me, what the driving factors are in my life. I don't think people really pay attention to how I operate. Hmm. I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I think people really like being distracted. I think they just enjoy seeing craziness and foolishness. And I think they really get caught up into this, the, 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 the crap show of it all, you know? But before we get started, hey, what's going on, everybody? And please hit that like on your way in, you know? Mhm. Hey, 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 what's going on? Ochella and Willie's grandbaby. Mm. Black Panther creative. What's going on? Auntie Leah, our kick ass everything these days, like just killing it. I want to say thank you for everything that you're doing, Auntie Leah. Y'all make sure you get over to Auntie Leah's channel. Make sure you are subscribed. Let's get her to the place where she's a monetized channel so she can do her members only content as well. But what she has up publicly right now, you know, we're just so honored that she decided to take a step in to the content creating game for our sector, for the Jagger rhythm sector, and really do a great display of going deeper into hip hop as a graveyard because it's true, you know. Mm. And yeah, okay, yeah, but no, but what's going on, LA chick? Linda, good to see you. Hey, Margie, our fluffy girl, Yvonne, ACG. Hey, Lauren, how are you, dear? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You got here early today? That's what's up. Yeah, no, anytime I'm quiet, hey, Aileen, hey, Baji, boo, what's going on? You know, and by the way, if you want to participate in the chat, the only thing you have to do is just become a member. You got Natural One. I don't know if she's here, but salute to Natural One. Hey, Rob Lowe. All right, guys. And please, hit that like button. Please. Oh, all things being considered. Yeah, I mean, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. But I wish the people would just take the time to realize what I do every time I see something that troubles me. God is in control of all things. There are no accidents. And however they're happening. And I want to thank you, Auntie Leah, for anybody who's looking to get the membership. I'm going to pin it in the chat. But I do know if you have an Android phone, you should still be able to do it, or your desktop, maybe even a tablet. But for whatever reason, they don't let it go down. What is this? Jag, I was watching an episode of Caught in the Act. Guess who was the cheater? Oh my goodness. It was SP. The way he portrayed himself on that show shows it's true to be the ooh. Ooh, well, a lot of people like to be, they like to be, they like to be what they want to be. They want to be all they can be. Our God in heaven is awesome and amazing. Please watch for yourself. Tammy Shelton said he wants both women. Oh, goodness. Whatever. I'll tell you one thing. Yes. Hey, hey, I am. You should know better than to cross my. You should have known better, Jenny. Salute. I was looking for ways before it crossed my mind. I wish, I wish they would, you know, I wish. Mm, you really gotta think over. Shouldn't let me hide when you cross my mind. You should know better. I'm not the one who went and turned promises into lies, and I'm not the one who sat and twisted all your lullabies. The friendship in the bank is changing, now you're confused and who's to blame. Ooh, my God. Welcome, Gigi Green. You're a member. Welcome to Jag Nation. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I believe in creating work that can grow and grow with people and for people. I love the fact that I can go back and listen to songs that I've written and recorded from 20 some odd years ago. Even when I go back to the stuff that I wrote from the mid 90s on up until I got my record deal, man, even still, I can go back and listen to that old work and be like, ooh, it's that ear, you know? So I want to thank you. I mean, that's the one thing that they don't want. That's one thing that they really don't want. They don't want me out there in the world getting it done. They don't want me out there in the world reminding you what music is supposed to feel like and sound like. No, they want you lost in the sauce and totally bereft in a reprobated mind listening to this crap. And for what? For the purposes of doing nothing but making money. It's sad how much money seems to matter in this day and age. Like it's gotten to the point now where people are so just thirsty and hard up for cash that they're willing to say and do anything. Like say and do anything to make a quick buck. Now, before we get started, and we're going to get started in a minute, I just want to give everybody a chance to get in. Please keep hitting that like. You know how much they hate. And if you really want to make sure that the people get here and show up, make sure you share as well. Got to. See, everybody wants me to stay focused in the distractions. I'm not going to do that. It's wild. I was looking at some footage of me on the blue couch, me talking about Uptown, me talking about all of this stuff. I've already said it all, G. But see, what they really want is for me to feed them more information so that they can pretend like I'm not their source. Outlets like Lipstick Alley and you know, and outlets like that. And so that they can go run with it and then they can chop it and screw it and they can remix it and they can say, Jag is a liar, Jag is a liar. You want to know? I've been said it all. And no one's hearing anything different than what I said. No one. Now, people like to confuse me and make it seem like I'm some kind of gossip columnist now, and I'm not. What I do is research
facts and investigate. That's what I do. I mean, truth is I'm probably one of the coldest investigative journalists online. Hold on, he was shady when I watched that. Thought about an episode. Of, yeah, I know, I know. And when it comes to what's happening with Angie and justice for Angie, and all of the foolishness, you know, in what is being dubbed as the Angie Stone sector, it's kind of crazy. What's even crazier is rather than anyone acknowledging or taking into account any of the real things that I've said that are leading to things, no, people want to try to find a negative. And salute to Set in the West in the building. Hey, Sugar Plum. Hey, Yamche. Uh, it's just like, it's crazy. Like the simple fact that I can go on my comments still right now, 111 likes in the building, but we need those likes to match the views. But seriously though, like the simple fact that I'm still getting comments about Ali Carter. How do you become a member? I pinned the link in the chat. If it's not working, the best thing I can tell you to do is if you have an Android phone or you have a desktop, you should be able to go and find a way to join there. That's why I don't know why, like, especially if you have multiple cell phones, at least one of them should be an Android. Who is this? Love you, Jag. Asking you some questions. Oh, well, just so you know, I'm going to be doing Ask Me Anythings over on Patreon. I believe we have a phone line set up for it. I'm not sure, but if not, you can always leave a message. Um, Come through, drop your question, and I'll be scheduling those conversations, you know, as you guys come in. And then maybe once a month we can do an interactive where those of you who have the heart to sit on panel, um, you can come and ask me directly. But we're going to be doing that in the membership tier over on Patreon. Because honestly, I don't want you people being stalked and harassed. Hey, Nick, welcome back. You did, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Carter. No, but wait a minute. Did I tell you? Ooh, what? Who would steal? Oh, what thirsty person? I guess they needed it. I don't know. Like anytime anyone's stolen anything from me, I always say to God, I want to thank you for everything you've given me. I know you're going to replenish me with more. And I hope that whoever stole whatever they stole from me, I hope I hope it's serving some kind of purpose. So yeah, I just wanted to just talk with you guys for a second. But let's just get this clear. At the top of this year, I played a little trick on the troll farm, and I allowed them to believe I was in touch with Ali Carter, that she said she was in trouble and she needed my help. And the second that I did that, 8 different content creators instantly went to work, tearing Ali Carter apart. You had the Fiend team and King Twirl, old Squidward, old Mark QCO, and his crackhead squad. And then you had um what is it? The, the two hoes, the two weak hoes. They were now see, it's so funny because they were the ones that said that they were exposing her. And then everyone exposed Ali Carter before. But the thing is anybody who comes through here, anybody who comes through my channel, we need 300 more likes, folks. Double tap that screen. This is a mobile upload. All you have to do is tap. But for anybody who comes through here, if you want to talk to me about that young woman, then please address her by the name her mother, her real birth mother, calls her by the name her mother gave her, which she had until she got adopted and changed her name, which is usually what a lot of scam artists do when they don't want to be, found out. Her name is Tori Outlaw. Her name is Tori Outlaw, and allegedly, and from what we can see, is on pharmaceutical. All of that crying, all of that screaming, and then it was the two weak people that actually went and tracked down the music video, the dangerous music videos that she sits online telling everybody, oh, don't do this and don't do that and don't do this and don't do that and whoopty whoopty woo and yada 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 and so on and so forth, right? She was in the video looking thirsty, dehydrated, all over some weirdo white guy who I don't know. And she was also working at a dance school, Tori Outlaw, preparing young teenagers to be able to go and be in music videos as well. Now they have all of these thumbnails out there. Now it's funny because the troll farm went crazy. Everybody was fighting. They had Tori Outlaw's mom. And it's really simple. I was leaving the whole thing alone with Tori Outlaw. I left the whole, hey, Kiki Eyes, I left the whole thing alone. And matter of fact, I told everybody else to leave her alone. And guess what? Nobody wanted to leave her alone. They all wanted to make it thumbnail. They all wanted to make it content. They all wanted her to be more of a real survivor than me. See, a lot of people keep forgetting that Tori Outlaw, who changed her name to Ali Carter, with the woman from CPS who had been involved in her family and was fired from CPS because they had suspected that she was getting way too involved with her clients. And, you know, it was looking like she was a human teleporter. See, what I personally think is that they were hired, is that Tori Outlaw and Shelly Carter were hired to come to compete with me online. That's what I believe. Because she showed up about the same time that I did. And it's funny because as she started building steam, but then it blew up on TikTok and then they brought it back here to YouTube. As she started building up steam and all of that, right? Straight plants. Next thing you know, people kept trying to push her into my conversation. And I kept saying, I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen anything about it. I wish her all of the best and I hope she's okay. Okay, we need 300 more likes, folks. Now, all that being said, next thing you know, then she starts doing videos attacking me, saying that I'm in it for the money, I'm in it for this. That's funny because I really don't get a lot of donations. I don't. I don't get a lot of donor support. I don't. My finances are blocked. So when I post up because the truth is the work that I do, don't nobody pay me to do what I do. Nobody. And nobody is more dedicated to exposing these distractions and these lies than I am. I promise you that. Me and my team, we 24/7 with it. If I was working at a newspaper, in order for them to get the kind of reaction on their thing that I get with my own and the stuff that I have done, that would be about anywhere from 85,000 to $145,000 to be able to afford to pay somebody like me to bring the kind of heat, bring the kind of reality, bring the kind of facts, bring the kind of dot connecting and all of that. Like for what I do, I would have to get paid for that. And I don't. I do it because I care. So the simple fact that you got like people like that weirdo tree person who would go and call an actual promoter that I was negotiating with to do a show with and lie and say that I assaulted a 13-year-old child. Well, where's the police report? Where's the record of what you're saying? Nicole Johnson or Nicole Carson or Nicole Johnson Carson? I don't know. What I do know is it's a lie. And it's a lie that was invented by you and Joshua Ray and Michael Braggs and Adrian Lewis and Latasha Transarena Kibi. Like these were your lies that all of you people created to try to find a way to discredit me. But when you go out of your way to actually call someone who I work with and lie on me, if you think you're going to get away with that, you're not going to get away with it. You might be making it right now, but you're not going to get, none of you are going to get away with it. It's sad. But back to like what I was saying regarding Tori Outlaw, which by the way, the only thing I ever checked her on was the fact that I knew she wasn't Tupac's daughter and I knew she was lying about it. The second that she said that, I was out. I was not considering her in any way. But the truth is, she is a plant. She is a plant, period. And the reason why they're hiding is because they got busted. So now the new story is that I'm the reason why I was doing it for money. I set her up. No, the only thing that I did was set you up to be exposed, young woman. And you need to keep your name out of my mouth. You and your criminal adopted mother, AKA lover, and all of that. Because allegedly, they're lovers. And she pharmaceuticaled out, dancing like a crazy person in music videos that she speaks against. So please stop asking me about this alley person because that alley person isn't real. Her name is Tori Outlaw. And her and Shelly Carter need to be arrested for the things that they're actually doing in real time. Or she needs to flip on her fake mama and have that woman put in jail where she belongs. Yeah, greed, jealousy, yeah, all of that. All of that, Lauren. All of that. But I just find it funny that the second that the trial hits, you starting to see the thumbnails now. You starting to see people trying to kick all of that around again. And guess what? That was deaded months ago. She was exposed months ago by the very YouTubers, and some of them are still using it right now. We got 750 poor people here, and we only got 250 likes. We need 500 more likes. Please double tap the screen. So let's be clear. Let's keep it real. Lies. And it's all done for the point of distraction. So I feel sorry for any of you who actually invested into that fraud because the only reason they brought her online was so that they could try to make her a competing survivor with me. And when I would not get involved, when I would not get involved at all, the next thing you know, she started with the here kitty kitty thing and then talking crazy about the Black Panthers and whoop de woo and so on and so forth. The girl's a fraud, period. She is a fraud. We need 500 more likes. Come on. She is a fraud who was brought here so that y'all would have to decide who you want to believe, Allie or Jag, Allie or Jag. And all of those predictions weren't predictions. They were information that was fed to her to be used online to inflame the public. And I'm saying that for sure. And Tori, if you and your mama lover, whatever she is, want to sue me, you can. Y'all, how about y'all come out of hiding and y'all sue me, just like everybody else tried to. Come on. That's what I got to say about that. Tori, if you got a problem with anything I'm saying, you can sue me. Just like they did with the fake John Doe and Jane Doe. Yeah. We'll see how it works. Because see, in order for you to do that, you would have to come forward. Oops. Oops. Y'all got to stop being fooled so quickly. People really have to stop. Yeah, competition has no place. Exactly. Not when we're talking about exposing real harm and danger in our communities. So, yeah, if you're going to talk about her, then please make sure you use her real name, Tori Outlaw. Her mama call her Tori, I'ma call her Tori. You want to know what's even crazier? That after her mama and her sister started coming on the YouTube sitting with Michael Braggs and sitting with Mark QCL, and, and, and they straight ghosted Josh Ray. Josh Ray, she got blocked by them so fast with her stalker ass. It was pathetic. She couldn't even get a day out, 2 days of content out of that. But seriously, like it's wild to me. It's so wild. Ooh. But see, I'm better than y'all. Every last one of y'all, and you know it. And that's why you need to cheat. That's why you need to work together. That's why you need to lie. I'm address another lie while we at it. Let's address one more lie. This whole thing with people running with this she's working with a predator. Oh my God, she's working with a predator. Where? Where? Oh my God, oh my God, whoopty whoopty woo, yada yada yada. The only reason I sat with that person was because I wanted him to lie to me. I wanted to have the verifiable facts and proof. He sat there and he pretended like his situation wasn't real. I spoke to him as somebody who's been cyber stalked as well, because that's what he said he was being. And the only reason I did that was because Paperwork Party TV asked me to stop being so hard on him. They were working together. They was working together, and they were supposed to be taking these very people down that apparently some people are boo loving with now. I have no idea. I don't know why. But what I will say is, for Paperwork to be texting me, asking me questions about who they really are because they're going after them and they're taking their channels down, and then 2 days later they're all cool, and Honolulu Tony is the bad guy and he has to be thrown out of the sector. I mean, Paperwork just said it the other day when I was sitting with him that day. I asked him directly, did you not ask me to bury the hatchet with this fool for the sake of the sector because it was causing too much chaos, me opposing him? And guess what? He acknowledged that that's exactly what he did. And now all of a sudden, everything is all cool between him and the weirdos, and they're not his enemy, and he don't got no problems with them. But what it's starting to look like is like you lightweight lined me up. That's what it's starting to look like. It's starting to look like you came to me to ask me for information about these crazy people that you wanted to take down, that you wanted gone, and this, that, and whoopty whoopty woo. And see, like I told him, I really don't want to be involved. We got over 1K people in the room and less than 500 likes. That's crazy. Double tap the screen. I relate to this so much. Hmm. So once again, let's be clear. Let's be clear. I wanted nothing to do with that weirdo. And I've been calling him out since he came online. I called him out after I met him over there with the Storm Monroe. I thought it was funny. I was like, what is this supposed to be? The geriatric Storm Monroe? But whatever the case may be, I called him out. Matter of fact, it was on Sunday, Easter Sunday, when I was dogpiled, disrespected, harassed, lied on. They let a whole racist get up on the panel and speak all kinds of racist crazy to me. and nobody said nothing. Paperwork disappeared because he went to go get something to eat. No, that was that the first. No, was that. I don't remember because it was a couple of times that I got dog pile on his panel. But whatever for whatever reason, he disappeared, and all of those people came up and hit the link and was attacking me and doing all of this because they said that I wasn't being fair to Honolulu Tony. They said that I was hating on him, and all he was trying to do was help. And I was like, he's a straight cop, yo. He is CI. I see how he operate. I see how he move. I told everybody that. And so the very person that I warned everybody against, now all of a sudden I'm in alliance with? How? How is sitting on a panel with this person and being cordial and decent, as I said I would, to paperwork, which he acknowledged the other night on his platform? What it's just starting to feel like to me is that when it got to the point where the troll farm was completely dying, couldn't wait. I forgot to invite you to the roast, Jack. Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Put that to the side for me. I'm sure I'm gonna get whatever you got in that doggy bag. But no, it's starting to look like the second that they were dying and they didn't have any content, it's just starting to look like, because like I told him, I don't bang with these people. They're stalkers. It is what it is. He asked me for information. He said he knew that Cleo was in Pennsylvania, but he wanted to know if I had any more information. And then he asked me if I had any information on Joshua Ray the robot. And I referred him to a place where he could go and do something. And I'm going to tell you exactly what it looks like. It looks like you were doing recon to see how much information I have to let these weird hoes know whether or not they busted or not. And then you ask me to bury the hatchet so that I go and sit with the weirdo. And then you can step away and say, hey, this has nothing to do with me. These are your people. These are your problems. Has nothing to do with me. Well, if it had nothing to do with you and it had nothing to do with me, why was you coming to me asking me for information about these people? That don't make no sense. But I'm gonna tell you what I do know. There was one thing that did happen that I thought was very interesting that paperwork did do. And paperwork, I hope you're watching. And by the way, I think I'm gonna take your wrench away. Matter of fact, I know I'm going to take your wrench away. That ends today. And this isn't me hating on him. This isn't me being upset with him. But when it gets to the point where things just start looking too weird for me, I gotta step away altogether. Now, this is what's weird. You come to me asking me for information. I give you what I can. I don't get too involved. Then you ask me to make nice with the very person that everybody know I can't stand. And then the second that people start saying, "Oh, oh, she's working with him. He's a PDFer. She's working with him." You don't step forward and correct the fact that you asked me to bury the hatchet with him on behalf of the Angie Stone sector. Why wouldn't you make that clear? Why wouldn't you say, hey, this isn't my fight. This has nothing to do with this. But hey, please stop lying on Jag. She never wanted to have anything to do with him. Actually, the only reason she made nice with him was because I asked her to. And that's what I did. I just find it interesting that the second that you want to throw these people back into my orbit, the second that you want to throw these people back into my life, after you was going to take them down and you was going to do this and you was going to do that. Now, see, I would be wrong, right, if I took all of the text messages that I had that you sent me about how crazy these people are and how this they are and how that they are, and then all of a sudden it's all good. And then you have to sit there on panel repeating over and over again, these are not my enemies. I don't have a problem with these people. These are not like, I mean, that's fine. You don't have to have a problem with them. They not my problem no more. What they about to be is the law's problem. Now we had 1K people in the room and we still got less than 500 likes. I need at least 400 more likes. Come on, tap the screen. Stop being so stingy. What if your gut's telling you something is off, then you should trust that feeling and not listen to anyone. And yeah, period. And I agree. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But what I don't like is being lined up by someone that said that they were my ally with people that everyone knows are liars and stalkers and crazy, especially over someone who I've been opposed with for over a year. And then come to find out, he just got out of jail last year. So he literally got out of jail and then came straight online and started doing all of this. Or at least that's what y'all saying, allegedly. Because see, I'm not investigating that man's criminal background. I don't care about his criminal background. I don't care about him. I don't mess with you. Mm, you look up. I ain't messing with you. You look dumb now. I ain't messing with you. Mm. I got a million trillion things I'd rather do than to be messing with Honolulu Tony. You little stupid ass. I don't give a, I don't give a, I don't give a F about you or anything that you do, about to do, or have done. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not the police. It's not my job to run around chasing after every little thing and every little person. See, my job is to stick to exposing distraction. That's it. And all Honolulu Tony is now is just another distraction. That's it. That's it. That's all. And a halfway skilled, you know, um, disinformationist. But whatever he did, I don't care. What I do care about is the fact that when I approached him and showed him sympathy, because I too have been gang stalked and dog piled and had people come to me in real life based behind what these people do. That was all. That was the only olive branch that I could extend as I did for paperwork as he asked me to do to maintain some level of harmony in the so-called Angie Stone sector. That was it. Ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all want to run around chasing down PDFs, then why don't you chase down the PDFs that y'all hang with? Because half of these content creators is talking smack. They got they got cases, all kinds of cases. DUIs, driving under the influence with minors in the car, all kinds of stuff. Thank you for showing up because we're going to remove this wrench because I just don't trust you anymore. Thank you for the donation, but we good. We good. We good. And yeah, I don't think you need to be here. I don't. Eh, bye. Have a great vacation. I'm working on real shit. Hey, Candy Marshall. Hey, how you doing? Because you can't call yourself an ally of mine and then line me up for more lies and disinformation on my name. That you can't do. And I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to cuss nobody out. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not, it's just, yeah, it's integrity. There's just a lack of integrity. But for you to sit there and to try to push me closer to him to save the sector, but then line me up for my enemies so that they can have content. Because as soon as we did that live, that's exactly what their content was the next day. So yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I would never do that to you. And anybody who would do it to me, it's a problem. It's a problem. Ah, yeah, I've already been through the ringer. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need none of it. So you don't got a problem with them. Y'all cool. They told you what they told you and you believe them. That's great. Bye. Keep it out of my life. Keep it out of my life. Period. He don't got to pick no side. He can pick his side. And guess what? Just like he has the right to pick his side, I have the right to pick mine. And here I am on my side. Thank you for the 500 likes, but we could use 500 more. Now, like I was saying, after being dogpiled on his platform on 3 different occasions, and then when people start trying to line me up over the same person that I tried to warn everybody against, that everybody wanted to work with because he was this and he was that, and whoopty whoopty whoop, and now y'all want to try to throw him off on me? No, take your trash. Come get your trash and take your trash with you. Okay? That's that. And whatever I have to say about Angie Stone, whatever information I have, I will be sharing it here on my platform and my platform only. So this way we ain't got to worry about who's trying to make a meal out of me or who's trying to line me up to be somebody else's meal, whether it was done intentionally or not. You know, the funny thing with people is that they don't really realize about me is that I have a very keen critical mind, very keen. And a lot of people like to make excuses for why they either cut ties or why they shut down certain relationships and stuff like that. I don't. Like, whether or not it was done out of stupidity, it was done out of duplicitous, it was done out of this, it was done out of that. Whatever the reason was, none of those reasons worked for me. And if something ain't working for me, and I gotta let it go. I got to. Now, this isn't me putting anybody down. This isn't me trying to destroy anyone. This is me letting it know right now. I have boundaries. Thank y'all so much. I just renewed my. Hey, welcome, Candy. Welcome. Yeah. So don't nobody come through here talking to me about no craziness. We have important things to discuss. Very, very, very important things to discuss. See, while everybody's busy worrying about all of the things that I told y'all was going on that have happened all of these years, that everyone said that I was lying about, and that people put me in hospitals for and put me in jail cells for, saying that I was mentally ill and that I was making things up about celebrities, turns out it's all true. So for me to be sitting here with y'all every day, going back and forth with y'all every day about what these weirdos who all said I was a liar, who said I wasn't telling the truth and said I wasn't this and said I wasn't that, turns out it was all true. And now they want to argue back and forth about trying to dissuade the public on whether or not, like all of the lies about Trump pardoning Diddy. That's not what Trump said, but a bunch of YouTubers. And this is why I said, and now that we're like halfway through, I'm going to be reaching out to the prosecutor myself. And I'm going to ask the prosecutor whether or not they think it's smart to continue to allow YouTubers to have this much access to this trial because they're literally sitting there at the courthouse trying to dissuade the public from all of the real things that are happening and from all of the real things that are being said. I haven't even gotten into the potential of Ellen being arrested, an arrest warrant for her. I haven't even gotten into that part yet. This is about kids and innocent. Yes, Yes, yes. That's exactly what this is about, Lauren. Yeah, and Diddy has been anti-Trump for years. And the one thing that Trump did mention when someone in the press corps forced that question onto him when they weren't talking about Diddy at all, I'm gonna be researching who that was. I want to know what outlet he was asking that question for because that's gonna tell us a lot. That's gonna tell us a lot. No, well, yeah, that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here for, y'all. I'm here to cut through all of the noise, to cut through all of the fake crap. And anybody who's interested in doing that, then please do that over there. But we don't do that in the J algorithm. We don't do that over here in the truth sector. We don't, because that's all we deal with. So you can take all of that. We still need about 300 more likes. You take all, it was Fox News. Yeah, that makes sense. They were trying to pin him in a corner. They were trying to pin him in a corner. Yeah. But the one thing that I didn't hear anybody reporting about or mentioning is the fact that Trump made it very clear that the second he went into politics, Diddy turned on him. And Diddy was demonic national convention all of the way. Him and his brother, his strategist, his everything, the person that he goes to when he's in trouble, the Jigga Man. Yeah, him and Barack Obama and the Diddler, and yeah. I mean, we've already heard in court that at some of these parties, they were passing out pharmaceutical magic pills that were shaped like Barack Obama. It's insane. I could do a whole live just on that. Because you want to know the one thing that we have not heard from the Obamas while they were busy out doing they fake, we still in love and we still together, snapshots, just like the Jigga Man and the Bebe did after the autistic victims case came forward, like all of that. They did that fake stuff. The one thing they ain't talking about was how deplorable they felt about the fact that people were being victimized and pharmaceuticaled out in their honor. Like if I was a former president and I found out that this person who was promoting on my behalf, asking young Americans to vote for me, if I if some and I found out that in the midst of all of their like illegal this and illegal that and terrible this and terrible that, and they passing out the pharmaceutical with my face on it. Oh yeah, that deserves a press conference. And it also deserved a denouncement. But it's the same thing that the Bebe did when the reports of the young people that were unaliving themselves and leaving notes saying that they did it for her in honor of her, that they sacrificed themselves for her. She ain't say nothing either about that. No, next thing you know, there was bad water in Flint, and then she sent like $1 million worth of water or something, bottled water. And guess what? That was a slap in the face too. You could have sent it in jars or aluminum, canisters, because everybody knows that drinking a lot of water out of plastic bottles creates the toxic emission. Like you didn't even send them. Yeah, that's all it took. Send a little water to the thirsty. And everybody forgets that you had absolutely nothing to say. And it's been more than one person that has taken their life in honor of her. She don't hear nothing about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. There is no way that you don't come forward and denounce all of that. And your face was literally put on it? Said nothing you didn't know about. Ah, yeah, I know. I know. So let's get into it. Let's get into the facts. Okay. I just want to take a little quick posy wosy, real quick. How many of y'all have seen the footage? Hmm? How many of y'all have seen the footage? Hey, Raven, you're never too late. We're just getting to the meat of it. We actually went through, we're just getting some things cleared up, clearing the air a little bit, see? And yeah, yeah, yeah. hmm But really though, let's just let's just keep it a buck. Put a one in the chat if you've seen the video of the alleged excuse for breaking the law that Miss Desiree Perez leaked out to the public and made sure it got out there first thing Monday morning to try to find a way to, dispel the fact that she's a psychopath, in my opinion. Put a one in the chat if you've seen it. Put a two in the chat if you have. Mm. Hey, hey. I've actually put together a small video composite. Um, I put up a short earlier here on the channel. But for those of you who haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to be putting up a video. And shout out to Poetic Flacco, who did a decent job at talking about it. But unfortunately, he's a YouTuber. And what I've learned with YouTubers is they might hop onto one aspect of a situation, but then they don't go further with it. They don't get into it. Now, is it terrible what she did for her daughter? Absolutely. It's absolutely awful. It's absolutely terrible. Okay? Ain't no getting around that. It's disgusting. The simple fact that you broke the law by breaking into your child's house without her knowledge or approval. The simple fact that you did that is wild. Like it's hella wild. Had it up in there for years, in a bedroom, in a living room, all kinds of things. That was against the law. It's straight up vigilantism. Ain't no getting around it. But this is what makes it worse. You decide to take evidence of your crime and then use that as your excuse for breaking the law. That's just crazy. That's crazy work. You gotta be leery of all YouTube content creators. Trust no one. I know. I know. It's beyond weird. But what's even weirder, and that's why I wanted to make sure I was the first to come and start doing this breakdown. Because we can't just keep letting people get away with all of the lies, G. We can't. Yes, she put cameras in her own daughter's house for years. She had cameras in her bedroom. And so this video that she had released after they started going and trying to DMC on people and shut people down and threatening people and all of this stuff about them running with it, she put this out. So this is what I want to say. I'm not playing the video during this video. I have taken some screenshots. This is all covered by the Fair Use Act of 1976 for education, critical purposes, and whoop-de whoop-de whoop. Okay? It's very perverted. It's very perverted. What's wild is that while people have gone out of their way to try to make me sound like I was unfit when I was on tour, providing for my family in ways that my children's fathers never did, while I was doing that, they called me unfit for working. She pushed this baby out and then ran off to go play Queen Cartel. Yeah. She pushed her daughter out and then she ran off to go play Queen Cartel. Now, apparently, she couldn't have been that great at it because she got popped with 35 kilos of not the white one, not the white one, not the pink one, right? She got caught with 35 kilos of that. Yeah. And then she snitched on everybody. And this is all public record. Then she got busted for violating her probation. So she had to go in jail for 9 months. So you got popped twice. Now, this is in the 90s. And all of that crime, and the most time she spent in jail was 9 months. And she had a bunch of probation. She violated. Put a 3 in the chat if that sounds like somebody who was a law abiding citizen. Put a 4 in the chat if that sounds like somebody that wasn't a law abiding citizen. Because see, for all of the crimes that people like to throw on me, you can look at my record. None of that stuff is there. Just a bunch of weirdo charges that all end up getting dismissed. Now, you would think that after all of this time, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she thinks that because when she got popped back then, her last name was Reynoso, and that she got married to the Jigga Man's, I guess, longtime friend. I hope they don't get popped because he gonna turn on them just like he turned on Diddy. But she married him, and now her name is Perez. So maybe she thinks that because she got married and she changed her name, that case don't matter no more. I don't know. But she got pardoned in 2021. Sure did. And you still breaking the law. You got your record expunged, a presidential pardon, no less. And you still breaking the law. This is the same woman we're talking about who was there when Mega Man, the male horse, Miss, I didn't get shot, but hey, let's just go with it. She was there when she talked to the police. She was there with her every day at court. She spoke with the prosecution. This chick, Miss, I break the law and snitch on people and then run around and pretend like I ain't never done nothing wrong. That's what she done. That's who she is. She was there for every step of that. And now, as the years roll by, we're finding out that evidence was hidden, evidence was suppressed, bullet fragments disappeared. You know, the level of government corruption that we suffer from here in the United States. Diddy's trial, Diddy's trial should be terrifying everyone. It should be terrifying everyone. Because all it took was a little bit of money. And these people were willing to not do their jobs, do the exact opposite of their job, and then sit there and allow innocent people's lives to be destroyed. When are we going to get to all of the corrupt government officials? Yes, how illuminating. Indeed. When are we going to get to that? You know, Demoree, she said something very interesting. She said the very people that are supposed to protect you were the people that let her down. And I know what that feels like because literally everything that is described in her lawsuit is everything that I've gone through. And you want to know what's funny? What me and Demoree do have in common? Roc Nation is a problem in our lives. My. How illuminating. Now, when it gets to the point where you see that certain tactics are being used repeatedly over and over again on different people's lives for different reasons, and the point of contact is all the same, you can't ignore that. Or at least we shouldn't. We should not ignore that. We could use 400 more likes, people. Come on, let's keep it going. Damn. Let's get into this video. Now, I want to pull up some of these images that I pulled from the video. Now, see, this was before the husband allegedly came through the door. Sure was. It was before. It was. Now, this was also before. Now, what I'm showing you from here to here, we're talking about in a millisecond, she went from not being able to be seen on frame by the so-called door where she was allegedly thrown into to being here in a millisecond. I'm buffering. I'm buffering? Why would I be buffering? Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody's trying to get started. You know, people are always trying to slow me down. Oh, it's fine. Maybe you need to refresh your channel. But you know what though? What I think I might do right quick. Hold on a second. Let me see. Oh no, that's me turning everything off. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to think. You know what, guys? Hold on one second. I'm gonna be right back. Right back. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can see me, hear me. Just keep coming back. Just put all right. Okay. No, because I wanted to flip something around right quick. Let me see if this will work. No, that's not gonna work. All right, so hold on a second. Let me hmm, let me do this. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys ready? All right. Tell me if y'all can see that. Can you see it? Fair use, and we can use 300 more likes. I want y'all to look at this. And like I said, I made a video. I'm going to be posting it up here on the channel after we finish. But I want y'all to look. Do you see that? Now I want y'all to look at where it starts from, where this interaction starts from. Because people have seen it, but I don't even think people really pay attention to it. Now, the metadata in this video is at the top left-hand corner. And it states the date. I believe it was like January something 2022. So this is from 3 years ago. I want y'all to look and see how fast, when it flips back over, she was at the door and then boom, she jumped like an X-Men to the middle of the room. I know it's a little blurry, and like I said, there will be, hold on a second. You see that? Let's start with that though. All right, hold on a second. Let me turn it this way and see if that helps. Okay? Now, I want y'all to really look at what we're looking at here. Okay? Now, this is the whole interaction. So let's just take it slow. Now, when it flips back, you see at the beginning, here we have the metadata. But when the man comes through the door, all of a sudden, those numbers go away, and then you can, it was sped up to 1.9 times faster. Okay? Boom, she goes from the side door, she turns, and then she's sitting there with something that looks like a water gun or a Nerf in her hand. Like if somebody was coming to get me and I was scared, there's no way in the world I would pick up like something flimsy like that. Like there's a whole workout bench over there. She could have picked up like one of those dumbbells to defend herself. But no, she, look at that. Boom. She's an X-Man. Okay? But this is the most important part. And I really want y'all to focus on this. Okay? There's a couple other things that I want to show you guys. Now, what I also find interesting, and we're going to talk about that blurred thing, the blur, because all of this is there. Number one, why is the girl wearing a COVID mask in her own house? Why is she wearing a COVID mask in her own house? If this was back in 2022, the world was about to open back up. Why in God's name was she wearing a COVID mask in her house? Okay, so not only is she playing a Mighty Morphin Super Ninja Power Ranger, and she becomes a whole X-Man, it gets sped up right there. And then they blur out what is supposed to be the point of contact. Now, I want y'all to look at this. Everything is steady. Everything is steady. And then he comes in and then it shifts down. The camera view shifts down and then back. Salute to Poetic Flacco. Now, I want y'all to look at the door. Look at this door. Okay? He's not even running. Like this guy, this looks like one of those weird reenactments that they do on shows like Snapped, Until Death Do Us Part, and stuff like that. Like it looks like it was a weird reenactment. Like I'm waiting for them to come and say, and yes, what had happened at this point in time. Like this is so sad. But I want y'all to watch. You see how this person, she seems to be confused and then she's looking back to see if she can get a spot. But I want y'all to look at the door. We're going to focus on the door for a second. Now the door swings and it closes and then it swings and then it closes and then it swings and then it stops and then it opens up and then he comes through. The camera goes down. It gets sped up to 1.9 times. The so-called point of contact is blurred out. Like the Cassie Diddy video was a lot more convincing than this. So she has a COVID mask on, so you can't even see if that's really her. What I also found interesting, though, was at the point of contact, like the whole door thing, swinging, and what was he trying to do? What was he trying to do? Figure out if he wanted to beat her up? Come on, let's look at this door. The door opens, then it closes, then it opens a little bit, and she's going back and forth, and then it stops, and then boom, and then he walks in. It gets sped up. That part is blurred out, so you can't see anything. Now, this is the thing. Look at the bag. I want y'all to pay attention to the bag. He's not sure if he wants to come in and hurt her or not. She's going back and forth. Then he comes through. There we go. And now there's a book bag. Where's the book? Where did the book bag come from? Okay, here he comes in. Do we see a book bag? Then there's this thing, and then there goes the bag. It looks a little too confusing, doesn't it? He's not sure. Okay, now he's sure he wants to come in, and he walks over and he puts up his hand, and then it's blurred out. And then he opens the door, and then he puts it like. So he's holding the bag on his left shoulder. Now let's look at that bag. Did y'all see that? Focus on the bag. He walks through the door. The bag was on his arm, and then look at that. He came in fist clenched. Let's see. Let's look. Okay, there we go. None of this makes any sense. None of this is real. You want to know what else I don't like? That the color of her pants changed. Because her pants are red. But from the second of the point of contact, all of a sudden, her pants go from red. Now look, as she gets it, they're black. They're not even the same pants. Look, do y'all see that? The pants are visibly red. Visibly red. And then all of a sudden, and he don't even look like he's wearing shoes. It looks like he's in socks. Now, I'm not saying, but what I am saying is from the second that the obstruction in the camera happened, it changed the pigment of the pants. That is an active and avid sign of video altering because what happened was is when they were changing the pixelation to create whatever this was it was doing, it blurred the color tone. Red, red, he comes in, he comes in. After he finally decides to, and then he comes in, it gets sped up. See? Hmm. Now, like I said, I made a little video that I'm going to be sharing on the channel, just pointing out a couple of the things. I wanted to get a little more in depth with you guys as we were here talking. Hmm. But it's wild. Because I don't even think, I really don't think that's her. I don't think that's her at all. I don't think that's him at all. There are more than one camera. Yeah. But see, from that camera angle, hmm, it's wild. I don't know. To me, it looks like a water gun or something. Look like a super soaker. Nobody knows them. And it's definitely a copy and paste job. Yeah, but no, but. I still don't understand why that woman would be wearing a COVID mask in her house. You can barely see him at all. Most of him in this video is from the back. Hmm. That's what it looks like to me. You gonna get a water gun to defend yourself against somebody that's trying to. Now, what actually happened on whatever day this was? Yeah, the face looks blurry in all video composite. In all video composite, the face looks blurry. So I'm about to change my location. But seriously, though, I don't understand. But the thing that I'm really not understanding is this. If you thought it was wise enough to release this as a plausible excuse for your vigilantism, and you've had this because, like you see in the video that I'm going to post up, and I made sure it was very clear so everyone could see it. The metadata being recorded was done in January 2022. She's been going after him in court and trying to get him hemmed up in court avidly and actively since then. So if you were busy trying to prove to everybody that you wanted to save your daughter, if you went to the police, if you went to this person, if you went to that person, if you went over here, if you went over there, if you ran and go tell it on the mountain, if you did all of this and you did all of that, and whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, and yada, yada, yada. This is what you accomplished on behalf of saving your daughter. Why didn't you give this video to the authorities? If your daughter and her husband were busy denying it and you thought that she was on drugs and unable to do right by herself, if you really thought all of that, Why didn't you show any of this in court? I mean, yeah, it does look like somebody, a cleaning lady or somebody like that. It does. It surely does. Surely does. Surely does. Yeah. Yeah. She was going back and forth, almost like she was waiting for her cue. That's what I'm saying. She was going back and forth. And I don't know if y'all saw, but when I was showing the video, but let's not forget what the lawsuit said. It said that her mother hired a fake therapist to try to get her away from her husband and do an intervention. Her mother set her up for a fake job interview. And meanwhile, the person that was interviewing her for the job with Nike, I'm going to pull the video back up. Hold on. Because I want to make sure, we all understand what's going on here. Hold on now. You got this kind of footage. Hold on a second. Let me get my little situation over here. Because y'all know I'm on green screen. I can't show anything because everybody gonna go crazy and go nuts. Let me make sure I'm not giving too much away. Because woo. Oh, you was in the shower for the video part? All right, well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I can run it back. I can run it back. In this family, we 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 make sure that everybody gets all of the information that they need. We don't want nobody to be confused at nothing. Okay, here we go. Now you see that? Boom. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. The flowers is in the way. Flowers in the attic. My bad. All right, here we go. Now y'all see that? Why would you need to blur that part? Why would you need to blur it? She's over there at the side, and then she jumps to the front like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. The metadata is there intact, and then it gets sped up. If this was really, if this is real, then why didn't you give this to the authorities? Camera position changes, and then it goes back once the point of contact is done. I'm telling you right now, this is the exact same kind of sloppy cut and paste work that they did on me last summer, trying to line me up on Storm Monroe's channel. See, this wouldn't pass the muster in court. And if any judge allowed this to be submitted in as actual evidence, he could lose his seat. 3 years. She been holding on to this. Why is it only blurred at the point of so-called contact? And if he was as violent as she tried to make everybody believe he was, then I think there would be more than this one video. Don't you? I mean, we already know she couldn't use none of the stuff from the bedroom. That would be considered revenge porn. Hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that whatever that thing is, it's flimsy. It ain't protecting nobody from nothing. But do you see how she kept looking backwards and forwards and backwards and forward, like she was following some kind of instruction or direction? Look, she's looking at the door's swinging. He not sure if he want to come in. Wait a minute, the door sits right there. She looks back over her shoulder. Boom. Mm-hmm. Backwards, forwards, backwards, forward. The door not sure. You know, when I saw that weirdo AI stuff of me, when I saw that, there were certain details that stuck out like a sore thumb, stuck out. Yeah, and then he politely ushered her in. Like I said, it looks like one of those bad reenactments on Lifetime. Sure does. It's weird. Real weird. But what's even weirder, though, is the fact of how many people decided as soon as that video hit to say, well, in her defense, he did do that. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Anybody who believes that or wants to run with that, it's because you're delusional, period. Pure, straight delusion. It is what it is. But what all of these images are that I'm showing you are evidence of vigilantism. And vigilantism is the ism of when people take the law into their own hands. Because that's what this is supposed to be, right? Her excuse. I just find it funny that in the lawsuit, Demoree Hadley charged her mother with a lot of terrible things. But the one thing that away from that akata, I'm going to have you thrown in a mental hospital if you don't get away from that. That's what it said. It didn't say, I'm going to have you Baker acted if you don't leave that abuser. I'm going to have you Baker acted if you don't leave that maniac. I'm like, she could have said a million other things that were not favorable about her son in law, but she didn't say that. She said, I'm going to have you Baker acted if you don't get away from that N word. That's racism. Point blank and period. It's racism. That's it. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. It's racism. She has a problem with that man because of his color. If you don't get away from that violent, crazy person, if you don't get away from that maniac, if you don't get away from that woman beater, if you don't get away, I'm going to have you bake. No, she didn't say that. She said, if you don't get away from that black person, And she used the N word because that's what she meant. And this image, this video is supposed to excuse this blatant act of vigilante racism. I'm a vigilante. I'm a racist. I take the law into my own hands. I'm so cold with it that I'll even do this crazy crap to my daughter. And if I can't make it happen, and if I can't make it stick, then I'm gonna show this video, and then it's gonna make everybody forget that I called that man an NIGGA and told my daughter I was gonna throw her in a mental hospital for not one because she didn't want to leave her husband that she loves, that she's been with since she was a kid. It's pathetic and it's insulting to anyone with a brain's intelligence. It's insulting. You know, this is what she chose to do to her daughter because she wanted the control. She was pardoned. And we're going to get into that a little bit before we get out of here. She was pardoned in 2021 by President Trump on his way out of the door, right after the insurrection. She was pardoned for all of her previous crimes. I did a little research. I don't think the person that's covered up looks like her daughter either. I don't. But let's talk about that pardon. Hmm? Shall we? Now, in the quotes that they got, because Roc Nation and Desiree Perez, because see, back in her criminal days, her name was Reynoso. Her name became Perez after she got into the record industry business, I guess, with the Jigga Man's friend. Ooh, it's getting windy out here. I'm sorry. With the Jigga Man friend. These are pharmaceutical teleporters. So I'm still trying to figure out when anybody is going to ask what made her qualified to be in the record business to begin with. You were an illegal substance mover around, and you had a background working in nightclubs. Now that would make you qualified to be the manager of 4040. But how does that make you qualified to run a record label? I mean, it's almost no different than Vlad. DJ Vlad with no mixtapes, no catalog series, no clubs on his records, no no DJ battles. Like, has anybody ever seen Vlad go up against Kid Capri? Has he ever spun off anything? He don't even got DJ equipment on his set for his podcast. He's got a drum set in the background. Like, that makes sense. He wants to question me and my career. I question his whole existence. He's a dick jockey, that's definitely for sure, but he's not a disc jockey. In order to be able to take on certain titles, you actually have to have a relevant reason for having that title. So, what makes Desiree Reynoso so qualified to run a record label? What's her background? What's her experience? What companies does she work at? What does she know about being an A&R or even an ADR? What does she know about being a producer? What does she know? Anything about the record industry? We know she knows a lot about the pharmaceutical thing. And apparently, she was pretty involved with some very, 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 very high up people. What is this? And the drum set was a fluke. It came with the set. Yeah, 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 that part. But let's be clear. What makes her qualified to run any kind of music organization with no background in music? See, that's a plant. Just like Vlad is a plant. Just like Quiet Storm is a plant. Just like Allie Carter, whose real name is Tori Outlaw, who is not Tupac's daughter, is a plant. Now, in the midst of all of that, they were talking about her pardon. And they got a, you know, from someone. She declined to do an interview. And I can understand why she would decline to do an interview, because if somebody wanted to sit down with her and talk about her history and talk about how she made it to become the CEO of Roc Nation and how she got into how she made it from the D-Rugs game to the hip hop game and to become a CEO. She's also a manager too. She's Megan Thee Stallion's manager. Mega Man. Mhm. Her prize pet, apparently. But it was said that she was surprised that she was going to get the part in it 2 days. Her name was submitted to President Trump right before he left the White House last time. Yep. But it was the intersection in the article that I read in Variety that I thought most interesting. And guess what? It was said, allegedly, that Van Jones, who's also represented by Roc Nation, who's friends with President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, was the one that made the link to get that pardon to happen. What is Yvonne saying? I'm sorry, sadly, I know a lot of it. I know a lot of itty parents who are like that. I feel really bad for every child who's had to do, yeah, with narcissistic parents. My son Sam is one of them. I'm just not the narcissistic parent in his life. But he's also someone who likes to commingle in the Roc Nation world. Birds of a feather flock together. And Sugar Plum, you got great parents. Your parent is God. And that's a parent that never fails. That's the parent we should be worried about. And our parents should be worried about that parent as well. So Jared Kushner, who's friends with Van Jones, and then Van Jones allegedly submitted and put her name in, and boom, she was on the last of the pardon list for President Trump back in 2021. He pardoned her, gave her a clean slate, brand new record. Sure did. And apparently that just got her going, because she was able to take that pardon and do this. Thank you. Thank you, Sugar Plum. She was able to do this. Can you imagine all of those years having a criminal background, and you got all this stuff going on? You move on to become some hot shot, you know, corporate person in the music world, even though you got no background, and the only thing that can closely connect you to it is working in nightclubs. Now you a manager and a CEO. Wow. You get pardoned by the president. And then you turn around and do this because she got pardoned in 2021, January of 2021. Oh, they talking about Brian Steele now. Hmm. 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 You get pardoned 2021 and 2022. You already breaking the law again. That don't sound like somebody that appreciates a clean slate. That sounds like somebody that was looking to find a way to take advantage of it. These are the facts. I want to thank you guys, but we could use 100 more likes. See, while they're all sitting there worried about the Diddy trial and wanting me to talk about, because they don't want me to talk about what they're talking about in the courtroom. They want to see if I know some other things. They want me to spill my gut about other things. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I put on my do not disturb phone calls coming through. Um, but yeah, we ain't gonna be here that much longer. But seriously, you get pardoned just so you can become a vigilante? That's what we doing? Allegedly, Van Jones was the link. You get this. You want to know what else I was looking at? See, because Desiree Reynoso became CEO of Roc Nation back in 2019. So if you made CEO and it wasn't messing with any of the company dealings or business deals, why would you even care? Billions of dollars and all of this access, and apparently you have some friends in government, or at least law enforcement. Hmm. You wonder how the Jigga Man feels about his business partner not liking people that look like him? I don't think he cares. He's used to spending time with people that don't like people that look like him. I don't think he cares at all. I don't think he ever cared, in my opinion. I think what he cares about is the fact that Roc Nation has become a hell of a plantation. That's what I think. You encourage all of these young rappers to come in, you lure them in with all of Your baubles and your clothes and your hookups and your private jets and your yachts and the this and the that. And then when they go out there and get in trouble, now they got to come to you to get help, right? And then you get to bring in your girl, Miss Reynoso, right? And Miss Reynoso gets to tell them, look, this is what we need you to do. This is what it needs to be. This is how it's going to be. And as long as you do this, I'm going to holler at my folks and you're going to be all right. But make sure you sign this terrible contract while you at it. They messing with my life? Why? I'm not cursing or nothing. See how that works? He gets to reel them in. And then they come into a bad situation. And then he gets to bring them to her. And then she gets to fix it. And then they owe Roc Nation, allegedly. It's weird. It's real weird. But it's really starting to look like that's exactly what it is. And any person that can flood their communities with illegal substances that tear families apart, people that look like them, never cared about their people in the first place. So why would he care? As long as he gets to look like the king of everything and the person to fear and the person to want to be like. That's what he cares about. Trust me, I know. So I just want to know, what was it that was happening the year she got that part? Roc Nation was into a whole lot of stuff, but it was the year that they got into education. 2021, after she was pardoned, Roc Nation did that deal for the Roc Nation School, Long Island University, LIU, in Brooklyn. That's 4 years ago. And 4 years later, at the beginning of May, the report surfaced. The students were coming forward saying that they had been lied to, it had been misrepresented, their degrees were worth nothing, and they had nothing but a gang of student loan debt. Even though they were promised if they came to LIU Roc Nation School that they would all graduate debt free. When you get involved in education, there are government oversights. Tell me something. When have you ever heard about anybody running a school or starting a school or being involved with the administration of a school? When have you ever heard about any of the people having criminal backgrounds? I'm going to tell you what I know about education and educators. They can't get involved with people that have criminal backgrounds. But see, if you're pardoned and you no longer have a criminal background, you'd be able to get involved with government funded projects, educational projects, things of that nature. Hmm, interesting. Put an 8 in the chat if you're following me. Put a 9 in the chat if you need me to explain a little more. And we could definitely use like at least 100 more likes. She didn't need a pardon to run the record company and to do all of the other stuff and to make all of the other deals. She been had a criminal background doing all of this. Apparently, the NFL didn't have a problem doing business with somebody like that either because they already had the halftime show. But see, they didn't get into the school business until 2021, which was right around the time, by the way, little miscellaneous fact, same time Kanye West was trying to get into the education gambit too. And meanwhile, while they was running down and trashing his school, nobody was looking into this Roc Nation school business, the school of hove nonsense. Maybe she needed that pardon so that they could move forward in that objective if she was going to remain CEO. I don't know. But I do know she got that pardon. And the next thing you know, they was opening up that school. Hmm. My. How long? These people, in my opinion, are scam artists and worse. And if they are capable, if this organization is capable of doing things like this to their own family members, what do you think they'll do to artists? Hmm? What do you think they'll do? Do you know how many people are sitting in jail right now because of fraudulent crap like this? Thousands. Thousands. Tory Lanez is sitting in jail, recovering from a nearly fatal attack on his life because of fake crap like this, because of lies. Now, if she was willing to pay somebody to pretend to be a therapist to try to get her daughter away from the black husband that she doesn't approve of, what makes y'all think that they wouldn't be willing to do this? The problem that I have regarding all of it, though, is that nobody seems to care about the danger and the harm that it's doing to people. Hey, Mel Tucker, welcome. You a member? And I would know because they've done it to me. They've been doing it to me. How many times are these people going to continue to keep doing this? And the public just sits there and says, it's all right. It's okay. Oh, it's not that big a deal. You've been a member for 4 months, ACG. That's what's up. See that? Yeah, it is a power move. It's very much so a power move. And yet, with all of that power, they're not more powerful than the God I serve. God said no. Period. And thank you. Thank you for the super chats. We could use more. Like I said, my life has been dedicated to making sure that the people that follow me and watch me are getting as close to the most accurate information as possible. Like I said at the beginning of this live, the job that I do, if I was doing this for a journalistic outlet, they'd be paying me 6 figures a year. And I get nowhere near that in donations. But putting my life on the line, having to hire security team to go outside legitimately like any other person. You're damn right God said no. You're damn right. You know, when I first saw the video, I'm not going to lie. Oh, it pissed me off. It pissed me off. Not that they did it, that they thought that this hack job, like the one they did on me with Storm Monroe last year, was enough to remove her vigilante racist campaign against a black man that has done nothing but love her daughter and stand by her daughter. Her husband got his wife a car. She had the audacity to go and try to sue them and lie, say that it was her car. Like, yeah, it gets deeper and deeper. And I am going after justice. That's what I am. I'm a justice seeker. I'm a defender of freedom. Everybody wants me to be focused on talking about this trial all the time. I've done my job. Something that they told me was never going to happen 5 years ago. It's happening right now. God said no. And if I wasn't wrong about the diddler, what makes you think I'm wrong about the jigger man? Hmm? Like, people are so busy trying to disprove me and add all of this fake crap around my name. Why aren't they talking about this? See, you can tell the content creators that are getting paid to stay away from things. Thank you, Sugar Plum. You can tell because they don't even touch these stories. They're getting to the tens and the hundreds of thousands in views. This very real content, and they won't touch it while they sit there and beg for people to support them, while they stalk and harass and lie on people instead. Thank you, Long Gone. Now, I have a couple of projects that I'm going to be working on. I appreciate the memberships. I appreciate the super chats. I do. And whatever cash apps are sent, I appreciate them as well. But the truth is, we need donors. We need VCs. I got a project that I'm working on, and I need to raise 25K. I do. See, if that last show, the show that never was, that I never got a contract for, that I never received a deposit for, if that show had happened, I would have been able to use the proceeds from that to fund this project. But that's not happening. The members only free concert is still happening, which of course we're going to be doing at a private, secret location. And we'll be streaming it to you guys from there. Because apparently that's what we have to do in order to be able to get our ministry, our work out to the public. It would be nice if we could ask 5 donors for 5,000 for a $5,000 investment and structure it where you would be able to come in as an angel investor on the project, which will do amazingly well. Hmm. Even if we could ask 10 donors for $2,500 a piece, you would get a producer credit, an executive producer credit on this project, which I'm not going to say what it is. But what I will say is it is film, it is music, and it is amazing. Me and my team have been working on this for quite some time. 10 investors willing to donate $2,500 to cruelty free, which of course we would also make sure that you have your paperwork so you can either list it as a donation or instead you can accept a producer credit as an angel investor for the project. 10 people donating 2,500 to get this project off the ground, that would be amazing. Or even 20 people donating 1,250. But we need angel investors. We do. People are working too hard to try to stop me and my team from being gainfully employed so we can continue to keep bringing y'all the real, bringing you great content, music. I'm not begging. I'm putting it out there. See, me and my team, we're not going to stop until we get it. But if there's any of you out there that would be willing to help, please hit us up at Cruelty Free Artistry 1, the number 1, not O-N-E, but just the number 1, the symbol 1, at gmail.com and say, hey, I'd like to pledge to be an angel investor. I'd like to be a silent producer on your project. And we will make sure your name is on the credits. And you'll be able to make your money back with interest, all depending on how well it is. That's what we need. Now, to all of our members, to all of our people here, we value you. And that's why when we come, we always try to come and bring you the real. Because that's what you deserve. There's so many people. Oh, the email, crueltyfreeartistry1 at gmail.com. But this community has the ability, with my voice and my reach, to get the truth out there together. I can't go in and work with these people in the industry because the only thing they're going to do is try to find a way to derail me, slow me down. Oh, yeah, we going to do this, we going to do that. And they do all of that to stall us out, to slow us down. But this project, for it to come out now in this season, it could really be a game changer. Not just for the truth telling business and the whistleblower business, but for the victims and survivors as well. Now, for those of you who choose to become VCs, angel investors, for this project, you'll be able to see the synopsis. You'll be able to see all the details of how everything is laid out. But if you do, we're going to have to ask you to sign a non-disclosure agreement because we can't nobody talking about it. But if we can raise this money in the next month, this project will be ready, set, go by the fall. We're going to put it on Tubi. We're going to put it on a couple of different places. But the premiere screening will be for members only. And that's what's awesome about our community. This community that we're creating here. It's not just for you, it's for the truth. So, cruelty-free-artistry1@gmail.com. If you would like to be an angel investor on the secret Jaguar Wright project, the film project, let us know. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. We just need to raise 25K. Because if we have to wait for any more of these deals with people dragging their feet, Diddy gonna be getting parole after 80 years. And we need to get this out now. Jag, can you think of any way to do a fundraiser of some type? Let me pin this in the chat. Honestly, if you guys think that a fundraiser is a great idea, why don't y'all in the community get together? Let us know. Matter of fact, drop down in the comments. Come up with some ideas. I don't have a problem with a fundraiser. Hell, I'd be willing to do a telethon and invite a bunch of dope musicians and have like a telethon jam session. That could be crazy. Where people could call in and pledge. That could be amazing. A virtual jam session telethon. That I don't know. That could work. But make sure if you have any great fundraising ideas, drop it down in the chat. I mean, in the comments at the end of this video. But with 25K, that's enough collateral for us to get whatever we need to get everything done. Yeah. Salute to Set in the West. You know, we all work hard, but a telethon, that could be hot. Actually, that could be kind of hot. But if we can raise that 25K, it will get us all the collateral that we need to finish this project. And it would be dope upon presenting it for me to be able to say that my community helped fund this. We'd be like a bootleg production team, production house. It would be awesome. But yeah, let's not wait for them to give us what we want. Let's find a way to get it for ourselves. Because you know what? God says, well, actually, Yeshua said, knock and the door will be open. Seek and you shall find. Ask and it'll be given to you. So this is me. This is what we got going on. We could use all the help we can get, though. I promise you that. Where did the? Oh no, I pinned the wrong. Dang it! See what I'm saying? Nails too long. I put in the wrong one. I pinned the wrong one. There it is. That's the email address for anybody who's interested in being an angel investor for this new Jaguar Wright film and music project. It's going to be pretty awesome. I was looking over and reading the specs and everything, and I'm like, wow, we can do this. We can get this done. And I prayed on it. But no, back to what I was saying before all of that. Well, this is the thing. Cat Williams fights his own battles, and I fight my own battles. If he ever made me an offer, I would have no problem with considering it if everything was, right and favorable. But the truth is, He and I collaborating, that's way too explosive. It's way too explosive. It would cause too much upheaval. And I ain't trying to bring no more stress than they already put on him. I respect what he's doing. And I love him for all that he's done and for all that he continues to do. But you know, us whistleblowers, we got to protect each other. And sometimes the best way to protect each other is by leaving some distance there to not make it so hard for the enemy to come at us and try to wipe us all out at one time. Thank goodness. Oh, Yvonne. No, but seriously, there's so many people that I would love to sit down with that are working this initiative, just like I'm working this initiative from their own aspect. But when I think about what a wet dream that would be for some of the enemies that all of us share, no, wouldn't be smart. Not in my opinion. I believe in grassroots. Yeah, that's just where it is. And I know we can get it done. I know this community can get it done. Not that we don't appreciate the support that we already receive from you guys, from all of the memberships and from all of the super chats. All of that is wonderful. But until we get to the point where this channel is earning enough money for us to be able to take out a large, sizable amount of it to fund the projects that we need to fund in the backdrop, until we do that, we have no choice. We have to raise capital on our own. And once we raise that capital, see, then you can go and you can get more capital with collateral. That's how liquidity works. You know, that kind of liquidity that Mr. Carter seems to be lacking. Because I ain't never heard of a billionaire getting turned down for a loan. More importantly, I don't know too many billionaires that need them. You a billionaire that needs a loan? No, but that's where we are. So I just wanted to come forward today and I wanted to deal with this with all of you guys. I wanted to get into this. I don't even know how many people are here. I can't really see. But thank you to the over 1,000 people that have been here with us. Thank you for the 2 more likes. I need 2 people to double tap the screen. And one more, one more, one more, one more. Come on, double tap me, double tap. There we go. Thank you for the 1,100 likes in this live. Um, yeah, I know, I know. That whole family about to get sued 80 million trillion ways. Even though this is the lawsuit that I'm most interested in right now. Her name is Demoree Hadley. Her husband's name is Javon Hadley. They're a beautiful interracial couple, and they've been together since high school. They deserve to live and love and have the life that they choose without people using the criminal justice system and illegal ways to rip them apart. See, I know exactly what that's like. I know when people use the law to do stuff because they've done it to me. This is the lawsuit I'm focused on right now. Because, in my opinion, it's a lawsuit that can lead to a RICO case. It's time to round up all the monsters. We need to start worrying about acceptable monsters, and we need to get to them all. Last September, when I sat down with Pierce Morgan, I said some very real things. They were so real and so upsetting that people had to lie and say they got hit with cease and desist when all they got was phone calls. And then they made weirdo apologies. You know what I want to know though? What I'm really interested in right now? Hmm. I want to know. Mhm. I want to know. Somebody tell me. When I sat with peers and I said real things about Clive Davis and I said real things about the Jigger Man and Lucien Grange and a couple other people, he was real quick to say, yeah, those people aren't here to defend themselves. But he didn't say that when Rayford came over there and lied. Why ain't nobody calling out Rayford for all of his lies? Why? Why did nobody say, hey, Suge Knight isn't here to defend himself? Because he's lying. Trust me, if Suge was a sodomite, you would have heard it from me first. You would have heard it from me first. I'm with a preacher. It is getting hot.
You want that fan on in the middle?
I don't need it, but if you want to put it on it, I think it could get some air stirring. It's starting to get stuck. I know. Are we here? Are we here? Can y'all see me? Can you hear me? Put a one in the chat if you can see and hear me. It's better? Okay. Isn't that funny? I gotta go and hide real quick and then come back. Like I said, they shouldn't have a problem with me. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Mm. So yeah, it's been a pretty interesting life. It's been a pretty interesting. If we can get 30 more likes, that would be great before we go. Or if you could just remember to like on the way out if you haven't. Um, it is hot today. I think I might throw on my suit and jump in there. Yeah, yeah. I might just do that today. Get me a little water Pilates going. You know? Hmm. Yeah, that's how you get it done when you're older. Work out in the pool. That's the easiest way to get everything up and moving again without impact, on your body and joints and all of that stuff. I know. It's this beautiful pool sitting right here. I might just do that, you know. But shorts and a tank top. Yeah, nah, I think I'm just going. I wish. I'm out west. I'm out mountain desert climate. Like it's hot. Ooh. Hey, Mr. Mass TV. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. But or the super stickers, should I say? So yeah. Um, hmm, it's rainy in the UK. It's always rainy in the UK for real, for real. I mean, and it's sad. It's sad on the days that it rains in the UK because sun is is not something that you get all the time in the UK. There's like 3 months where you get like real sunny, you know what I mean? And so every rainy day in the summer, it feels like they stealing. You have a 4 foot pool. This one gets up to, I think, about 8, 9 feet. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. But to close, I want to say this. One down, four monsters to go. And we're going to get them because God said no. To them, to all of their lies, to all of their craziness, to all of their chaos, to all of their disinformation, God said no. And to all you content creators that are avoiding real information, we see you and we know exactly who you are. And to anybody who wants to put me in some fake beef or fake drama, all for the point of trying to find a way to get some content, yeah, nah, not gonna work. And I'm starting to not really like Van Jones. I mean, I haven't really cared for him that much. He's always ridden the fence. Y'all remember that interview that he did with the Jigga Man, who's who's apparently, his boss, with the 444 and the cheating scandal and all of that stuff. Hmm. Those questions he asked, those lies that were told. It was just funny to me. It was so funny to me. And now, when I'm looking back over the years, I guess I shedded some tears. Told myself time and time again, this time I'm gonna win. But another fight, things ain't right. I'm losing again. It takes a fool to learn twice, all over again. I think you need to let it go. Let Jaguar Wright go. Keep my name out of your mouth. Looks like another troll TKO. Ah! Whoa. Think you better let it go. Boom, 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 boom. It looks like another troll TKO. Yes. Tried to take control of the content and it took over me. I really gotta get back in the studio and do these troll remixes. Cause how do y'all feel about the troll TKO? You know, I'm liking it. I think they better let it go. Mm, 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 It looks like another troll TKO. Mm, Whoa, ooh, think they better let it go. Mm, 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 It looks like another troll TKO. Yeah, all you weirdos. Oh, it sucks. Don't it sucks? Mm-mm-mm. But if y'all keep on playing, before you know it, well, I guess I'll rap on your door and tap on your window. Hey. Oh, I want to tell you, Joshy, the changes I've been going through. Hunting you, hunting you to serve you. Yes. Until you get off of me. And I'm talking about my name, my content. Like, stop playing the audio because you're going to get struck if you use stop. What does this say? You wasn't wrong about anything you said yet. Let it go. Go Diddy Boppers. She high favorite. Thank you, Mr. Mass TV. Welcome. Welcome to the channel. If you want to become a member, you can do that too. I'm trying to told you. Mm-mm-mm. I want to tell you, robot, the changes I've been going through. Serving you, serving you. Till you get off of me. That's what I'm gonna do. Mm, mm, mm. Well, I guess I'll rap on your door. Yeah, we gotta do this troll compilation, this troll song compilation. Yeah, we gotta get it done. There's too many good ones, you know. The silver gray hair, neatly combed in place. There were 4 generations of troll on her face. Now she's lying and screaming and streaming. Yo, I'm telling you, I think that I don't know, maybe we should do that as a fundraiser too. Maybe we should do that. I don't know. There's so many ideas. I hope you guys share them with us. Hey, Shalay, welcome. Welcome, you a member, Jag Nation. So, do I have anything else left right now? No, other than the fact that you ain't looking good. You ain't looking good right now, Van Jones. Like allegedly helping vigilantes who don't like black people to get pardons so that they can keep abusing the law. I don't know. Looking a little suspect to me. But I mean, you cool with that tour ass dude, the Torres, yeah. You know, birds of a feather flock together. And the truth is, from what I've heard about all the women you dated, you're not really that virile in real life. Matter of fact, I've heard about 15 different women say that you get down low vibes. So I guess you in the right house, right? Roc Nation. But I just hope that y'all didn't misrepresent who Miss Reynosa really is to get her that pardon. Or maybe I should just, hey, long gone. Or maybe I just need to start calling my people at the FBI and sharing with them some of the things that I do know that ain't looking too good. Because President Trump being attached to any of this weirdo-ness is not good for America's future. And a lot of people lied to that man. A lot of people. It's just weird. He ended up giving a pardon to the very people that were opposing him in politics. I wonder why. Because the Roc Nations and the Combs Enterprise, they campaigned hard against Trump. All of them. Almost as hard as they did this time. Just seems a little weird to me. Put a 0 in the chat if you think it's weird that Trump would pardon an adversary that was trying to block him from the White House in the first place. Put a 0 in the chat if that sounds weird to you. That's gonna be the last little posy we do. I don't know. I think I might have to make some phone calls and just ask. You know, when I want to answer to a question, I want to ask because the last thing that I'd be doing is pardoning somebody that didn't even want me to be in the position that I was in to pardon him. Like well, I mean, like I said, it is alleged that Van Jones, who was friends with Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is the one that put that whole thing together. That's what they alleged. That's what was reported in Variety, even though Roc Nation, the Jigga Man, Miss Reynosa, um, or Mr. Van all declined to do an interview regarding her partner, which is crazy because it seems like if it was a company effort, I'm gonna put it to you this way. I don't know if it was a trap or not, but how ironic would it be if the very president that gave the CEO of Roc Nation a pardon ended up being the president to make sure that they ended up in Gitmo? That would just be great karma. Yeah, I would like to know that from our president. I would like to know who slid that across his desk and gave it such merit so this woman could have her record cleared so they could start that fraudulent school and rob a bunch of American students to literally rob America's future and continue to be a vigilante and use government corruption to destroy people's lives, even her own daughter. That don't sound like somebody that needs a pardon. That sounds like somebody that needs to be in timeout for a very long time to me. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a defender of freedom. Yeah, so all right, guys, I think, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that's the question that this community needs to ask. I do. You know, I typically don't go into researching pardons, but I think it's time that I research hers. Like, this is the same person who started this fraudulent school with the Jigga Man to rob, literally rob America's future. They robbed America's future. They're under investigation. Students have come forward and they pardoned her for that to rob America's future and to run around, swearing out all hell on black people who apparently she don't approve of. She definitely doesn't approve of any of the black people that black men that married her daughter. She definitely don't approve of that. Yeah, it's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. It's get First she was there, and then she was there. First she was there, and then she was there in seconds. Hmm, man, I guess she gave birth to an X-Man. Yeah, on that note, we out of here. We'll see. We'll see, LA chick. We shall see. All right, y'all. Until next time. Don't, 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 don't believe the hype.